Is that like the slowest version?
Fuckers.
Happy New Year!
God damn it. It's over. The joke has been grounded in the fucking dirt. Just kill that goddamn donkey already.
I had no idea he was going to do this.
Welcome to the Showdown Podcast. This is our end of the year review.
Donkey killing fucking spectacular. Fucking thing.
It's time to say goodbye to 2017.
Can we say goodbye to the fucking donkey?
Yes, for
Thank
11
God.
months.
Damn it.
Welcome. If you're new to the show, you picked a weird episode to start with. If you're not new to the show, welcome back. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Scott. I'm joined on my left here in the Miller Zoo by Corey Miller.
Hello.
We're joined live via Skype from White Ass, Delaware by Black Guy Vic Miller.
Donkey hater supreme.
So this is the episode where we give you our top 10 best and worst movies of 2017. And then at the end, we'll take a look at the movies that are slated to come out in 2018.
Well, that'll be the next week's episode.
Okay. So this episode's just the top 10.
Yep. Top 10 best and worst.
Okay. And Corey, you have a special thing you did.
Yeah.
Corey did some work, Vic.
I actually did some work.
It's amazing. Absolutely.
That's all he's got.
Yeah,
So Corey, why don't you tell me what you
did? I went back. I went back and I listened to last year's episode.
did. You were that download.
Yes, I was. I listened to the episode where we talk about the movies that are coming out in 2017 and kind of gave our thoughts whether we would go see the movie or we wouldn't or we don't care. Some of the movies, we didn't even say anything. Let me see, like John Wick 2, Brad didn't even give an opinion. I got some of those throughout here. There's some movies that were mentioned that never came out.
Okay.
World War Z 2.
All right.
Never came out. Friday the 13th.
Came out the video game.
Yeah, video game.
But no movie.
Nope. Amityville. And Vic and I were talking about this one. We couldn't figure it out. Underworld was the other one.
But that didn't come out?
Yeah, that didn't come out. But it's interesting. A lot of the.
However, I swear to God that I watched this movie. Like, I think it did come out.
A new Underworld?
But I can't figure out, like, did it come straight to video? Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Were you naked in front of your class at the end of it? Because it might have been a dream.
Could have been. I may have just convinced myself that it happened, but,
So I thought what I do is when we give some of the movies that are in our top 10, best and worst, I would look to see what our thoughts were before the movie came out.
Okay.
Like if there was a movie where Brad really wanted to go see it and it ends up on his worst list. So it'll be just interesting to see that kind of change in thoughts afterwards, before and afterwards.
Okay.
So where do we want to I think we should start with the worst movies.
With the worst movies.
The worst list, yeah.
And we should start with 10.
10.
Which would be the worst.
Yes.
Or the best of the worst.
Yes.
And we'll get to number one being the worst. Your number one on your worst list should be the worst movie of the year.
Yep.
Okay.
That's correct.
Number 10 should be the best of the worst.
Mm-hmm. So Brad, why don't you start it out?
Okay.
We change this every fucking year, right?
Yes.
Just checking.
So my best of the worst,
Uh-huh.
coming in at number 10 for me, was Annabelle Creation. The reason it made it to 10 and not lower is because it did feature an extended first look at it before the movie. So that
it got points.
Yeah, that got it from being the absolute worst to 10. So that's my 10, Annabelle Creation. I thought it was very much of a letdown. It just, I don't know, it didn't come across scary or believable or even really interesting at all to me.
Vic, what's your number 10?
My number 10, which is the best of the worst, the least failing of the fails, was King Kong Skull Island.
Ooh.
I still haven't seen that one.
I had high hopes for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up, I love the gorilla, I love Samuel L. Jackson, but I hated everything else about it.
Yeah, you said actually on the preview episode, You said, Brad, you and Vic were both yeses, and I was a no as far as wanting to see it. So there's that. I think Annabelle, I might have that on here too.
Hopefully that's going to be like Godzilla, where it's just we had to get through the first one, and then it should pick up when they start introducing the characters together. Because, I mean, I didn't think that original Godzilla movie was that good. I thought it was. I was let down by that.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Kong.
Okay,
So,
you're talking about Godzilla.
No.
Have you seen that?
No.
You haven't seen that either?
No, haven't seen that one either.
Okay. Don't like monster movies, huh?
No, I do. I just haven't gotten around to it. There's always something else I'd rather watch.
So just so you know, Underworld Blood Wars did come out in the theaters January 6, 2017, but its international debut was November 24th, 2016. That's why it didn't get counted as a 2017 movie for the
It does here on the showdown because our list we use is American.
Yeah.
American. Then my list is going to be fucked up because that goes on my list.
It goes up. It counts.
It counts.
All right.
It counts because the international release was beforehand, Vic, and this is America.
Well, I know, but when you look at the releases for 2017, it doesn't show up anywhere.
Yeah, well,
so even in the if you go if you were to say American releases, it doesn't show up as a movie that came out in 2017.
Well, here's your tiebreaker right here. We talked about it coming out in 2017 on our last year's episode, so it counts.
What was the deciding thing
for what?
Like when we talked, was it yes, no's? What was it?
On Kong, it was you and
no
Vic.
On Underworld.
Underworld. Vic, yes. Me and you, no.
Okay, Vic, and it's on your worst list.
No.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Okay. All right. So Corey,
it's going to kick something off of my favorites list that I wanted to give mention to that I thought deserved to be on the list. So anyway, go ahead. Let's go.
Corey, you're number 10.
My number 10 was a Cult of Chucky.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, I was really. I didn't really have high expectations of it, because I knew what to expect. It's a Chucky movie, and there was just so much.
They went too far.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it. I mean, I tried to like it.
So if they had have done there's a cult of people that worship a Chucky doll, and that's all it was, I would have been probably okay with the way things rolled out. But because they literally made it a cult of people who turned themselves into fucking Chucky dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to put his...
Spoiler alert.
Get over it. They know what this show's about.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he was able to put himself into different dolls. I'm just like, what? Come on. The weirdness has gone a little too far here, I guess.
You talking about the movie or this part of the show?
This part of the show.
My number 9.
Your number 9.
Kong as well.
All right.
Yeah, nice.
Vic, what's your number 9?
John Wick 2.
Really?
Yeah, and I loved the first movie, but this had the same effect that
wow.
That what's it called? The stupid Bachelor movie. What was it? The Lone Wolf, blah blah blah. Help me out here.
The Bachelor movie.
The one where he's gonna get married to go to Vegas.
The Hangover?
The Hangover?
The Hangover, right. So Hangover 2 is just Hangover in another place. And John Wick did the same thing. It was just the same thing all over again.
They killed my dog again.
No, not this time. But come on, that opening sequence, that whole opening
Dude, it was just a replay of everything they did in the first movie.
It was fucking badass.
Yeah. Nope, not enough for me. Not enough for me. I'm all about the fucking action movies. Now, mind you, most of the movies that are on my worst list are movies that I watched that I was okay with, that I enjoyed watching, but because I didn't watch anything that I thought was going to be shit anyway. But it didn't do anything that made it really good for me at all. And I can tell you, there's a number of movies out there that do that, so that met that criteria. So it didn't make it for me.
Oh man,
what was your number 9, Corey?
My number 9 was The Mummy with Tom Cruise. There was so much they could have done so much better with.
I feel like that would have made my list if I had watched it.
Yeah, they could have executed this so much better. When they're trying to reestablish the whole monster universe, they did a shitty job at it.
Well, no, did you hear that may have fucked up That whole plan, like they may not be doing the Monster Universe anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
How does that happen?
They completely fucked it up. That script was stupid.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't have started with the Mummy, because to me, it's one of the least interesting of the monsters.
Right.
Like
that's a monster you could have had in another monster movie. Like the Mummy and the Creature from the Black Lagoon should have just been like cameo appearances in The Werewolf and Frankenstein.
And you gauge the kind of the reaction to those appearances. And let's say the Mummy's appearance is really strong, then you make a Mummy movie.
Right.
I mean, you're going to start the cinematic universe. You start with Dracula or the Wolfman or Frankenstein.
Same fucking way you did the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was not good at all. So, Brad, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is The Mummy.
Oh.
Nice. So there you go.
Vic.
Blade Runner.
I hadn't seen that, or it probably would have made my list because I heard it was pretty bad.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, they threw Harrison Ford in there to be like, hey, it's Blade Runner.
We thought about going to see it and realized it was almost 3 hours long. We're like, fuck it. I don't have patience. It's like, nope, no. Let's just find something else to watch. So, no.
So what was your number 8, Corey?
Well, this one's it wasn't a tough decision because it is what it is, but I'm surprised that so many people enjoyed it. I don't know. Girls Trip.
Okay.
The one, it was like The Hangover
for women.
With Jada Pinkett Smith and Queen Latifah and Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish was hilarious.
So I understand what was wrong. There were just too many black people in it for you, Corey,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Damn!
Shit.
Damn. No, I just didn't think. I thought she was hilarious, Tiffany Haddish, but other than that, I just didn't think. I thought the script was kind of dumb. The jokes weren't all that funny.
Tiffany Haddish, which one is she?
She was the younger one. Did you watch? Did you see?
No, I didn't see it. But what else is she in?
Oh, she's a stand-up comic too. So I think this was her first movie. What?
Okay. I was like, what else was she in? You'd be like, she's a stand-up comic. Like, that's not going to help me at all. I don't know what she is.
No, I think this was like her first movie.
If only you had a device that you could type the name into, Vic, and
look, I got a lot of shit going on over here.
Send him the link.
I got a lot of shit going on over here right now, and if I start typing, Corey will have a shit fit about my keyboard. So
his keyboard sounds like it's from the 80s. Those big buttons. Okay, that was...
Vic gets over there. This is blah, blah, blah. I know this. Jurassic Park reference.
What's your number 7?
Sing.
What movie is that?
Oh, the animated,
yep. Like the American Idol type thing. Just had potential, but I was pretty bored through it.
Another racist fucking movie.
I don't think I ever saw it.
How was that movie racist?
Because the bad guys, the gorillas.
Oh, that's true.
The
criminals were gorillas.
Yeah, come on. There's racial undertones there. I'm just saying.
Who is in that movie?
I mean, well, it was animated.
I
so
know
it was
who did voices.
Shit, I don't remember.
If only you had a device that you could look that
up. Very good. Vic, what's your next one? Number 7.
Justice League.
Really? Tell us why.
Yeah, I'm very, very fucking disappointed in that movie. So, just failed to deliver any kind of real exposition about the characters that no one knows anything fucking about. They just did a horrible job at giving the general public an idea of who those characters were. And then, again, you have Wonder Woman, who's the only, saving grace. Well, saving grace for the whole fucking storyline. Like, she's the only character in there that she literally, to coin a gaming term, she carried the entire rest of the team. I'm just saying. Like, her parts were great, and everybody else fucking sucked. And the fact that they just threw Momoa in there, they're like, hey, we want to get women to drool over Aquaman. We're going to put Momoa in there. And then I was like, okay. But here's the deal. I was like, all right, I can kind of accept that they used him for the character, but there's just no real similarity. And I'm like, okay, so they Nick Fury'd it. Okay, we'll let it go. And then the character just, I don't know. I was disappointed. And overall, the characters weren't strong enough for me. They try to do this kind of jokey thing at times where it just I wasn't feeling it at all. It didn't do anything to allow me to put it on my good list for the year.
I'm going to backtrack a little bit before I give my next pick. For The Mummy, Vic was a question mark. Brad and I both said no. And also, where's the other one we just did? Oh, Justice League. All three of us said yeah.
What were our thoughts on Sing?
We did not talk about.
Oh, we didn't look forward to that one.
No,
okay.
that one was not on the list. Okay, so my next pick.
God, Tiffany Haddish is such a nobody. Her picture is not even on Wikipedia.
My next pick, Death Race 2050.
Is this a sequel to?
No, it's
it's a sequel to Death Race. It's
not a sequel. It's just a remake of the fucking original.
It's not. Well,
it's a literal remake of the original.
Who plays the Stallone character that slaps a woman within the first 5 minutes?
Who was?
I don't remember.
Machine Gun Kelly was a black guy. I want to say it was one of the rappers.
Probably. Who was in all the Fast and Furious movies? Ludacris?
Yeah,
He's like the go-to rapper actor.
I can't remember what people
or Method Man.
I just didn't think it was that good. I was looking forward to cheesiness. I was anxious to see it when it came out, and I'm glad it was just on Netflix, and I didn't have to pay anything.
What? It was Death Race what?
2050.
Death Race 2050, that's what it was. Keep going.
All right, my number 6.
I'll interject later. Keep going.
Okay.
My number 6, Boo 2. Medea Halloween.
Look, the fact that it made a list for you at all, I'm pretty impressed.
Well, it's just, I'm okay with being like a bad movie, and I'm okay with like a lot of that stuff, but you need to at least have like a plot that makes sense, an ending that's not obvious halfway through the movie, and it was right there, close to the border of so bad it's good, but it was still stuck in the so bad.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it now, just knowing that.
The best part of that movie is that one song, Black Beatles song.
Vic, what's your number 6?
The Black Beatles song is the only thing that made it for you.
Yeah, that's the only good part of the movie.
That's hilarious. Number 6 for me is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You kind of get that hype. You're like, oh, another Pirates is going to be, fun. And honestly, the story was kind of flat, but the adventure in it, I guess the adventure line of it was pretty good, but the story was just kind of fell flat for me. And then, of course, it's just fucking drunk ass wobbling around and the same thing. Like, I guess that's the character, so it can't really change, but it's just the same guys, the same jokes, same gag lines, just over and over again with a slightly different environment. And I don't know. It didn't really hit the mark like I thought it was going to.
Well, on our preview episode, you said yes. You were ready. You wanted this. You were excited for it. I didn't care. And Brad was waiting for a Small World movie.
For which movie?
Your response to wanting to see the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, yeah.
You said, I'm waiting for a Small World movie. So I'm thinking that's
it's a good idea to do a joke out of context.
Yeah. So, let's see. That's on to me then. My next one is Snatched, which originally on our episode it was called Kidnapped. They changed the name of it, so it's Snatched. We didn't even give thoughts on that.
I thought this was a porn when he first started saying that.
Yeah, this is the one with Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I already, I might just add it to my list.
Nothing in my mind that brought that even reminds me of that movie.
Yeah, it's really bad, and there's one scene where she goes back to the hotel with this dude that she likes, and she's wasted, and her boob's hanging out and she doesn't realize it. And so it's just like that gratuitous boob shot for no reason. And it's like...
You're upset by this?
No, not really. That was the only good thing. But
that was your Black Beetle.
That was a redeeming fact.
Yeah, that was my Black Beetle.
That was your Black Beetle.
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing, it was just so stupid and over the top. So, Brad, what's your number 5?
My number 5. Every time we mention Black Beetle, we're gonna have to.
No.
We're gonna have to hear that song drop. All right, my number 5 is War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, really?
Yep. That entire movie should have been called "We're Trying to Get an Oscar for Cinematography,"
which was actually really good.
Because that's all it fucking was long shots of people walking through the fucking snow and fucking look at this gorgeous scenery. Just too much of that. If they would have taken out the shots of them walking across this, landscape that they knew was going to be like Oscar consideration, the movie would have been 10 minutes long. I love the first movie. I thought the second movie did a great job expanding that story. I was really excited for this one, and I fell asleep.
I still haven't seen it.
3/4 of the way through.
I still haven't seen it.
Which is where I should have been, like, gearing up. You know what I mean? Like, 3/4... Falling asleep halfway is like, you may not have given it enough time.
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through, you should be about at the point where the movie, if it hasn't already ramped up, is ramping up.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It just fell flat.
Our predictions ahead of time, all 3 of us were yeses on that one.
Yeah, well, the first 2 were good.
Vic, what is your number 5?
War of the Planet of the Apes.
Hey, yeah, great minds. So what was your problem with it?
Same thing. Like it was a beautifully shot movie, and like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, that I love Woody in everything.
Yeah,
and this did not work.
I always think he does an amazing job at portraying a character that I didn't think he would be able to do. That's why I was in for him playing this character. And then I was like, yeah, you finally did it, Woody. You fucked me over. Mm-hmm. I was in your camp until this point.
You know what would have made it 20 times better? Is if during those long landscaping shots they would have added some Black Beetle. Imagine the apes. Imagine the apes walking across the snow. Everybody's famous.
Just jam into that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it would make sense. Because I'm sure at some point in time, the humans were gathering up humanity's prized possessions. And, they're like, okay, we've got a Bible. We've got the Declaration of Independence. And we've got...
soundtrack to Boo 2.
No, just Black Beetle. Well, but I've got an iPod. I can fit millions of songs in here. Just make them all Black Beetle. That way, in case one file is corrupted, we have a safe.
It's the only song that survived.
Yeah, it's the official national anthem for America 2060 on. Do you not hear Black Beetle featuring Gucci Mane? Stand. Take your hat off. Put your hand over your heart.
How dare you kneel?
That's right. Okay.
Corey?
Okay, so my number 5 is Death Note. This was originally an animated show, and I saw most of it.
Is this the one where you could kill people by writing their name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you have to know what they look like. So
William Dafoe did the voice.
Mm-hmm. The animated show is really good. But this just is
okay.
Not
First
of
all, Corey, I'm going to disagree with you on this. This did not make my list for the year, or my top 10 list for the year, but they did an excellent job with this movie. They packed everything from the entire first season of that into a 2-hour movie and came across with the entire story correctly. To the point that they fit everything in there. They chose all the right parts. And then the end of that movie where he reveals how he managed to fucking trick Death and and the girl was fucking excellent. I don't know why you put this on your bad list.
Yeah, I
say this while I'm saying it didn't make it onto my good list, by the way.
Yeah. I just didn't care for it. I liked the original story, and then just the stuff that they changed didn't make any sense.
The original story was an anime. Of course you like it.
But no, that's not it.
It was easy. It was easier to like make everything work and happen in a cartoon version than it is in an actual movie.
Well,
version.
I think letting the girl know about the book so soon, I thought was that wasn't. I didn't like that.
Again, but they had to because they had a very truncated amount of time to do all that.
That's why you stretch it in multiple films.
No, that wouldn't have worked with multiple films. You'd have gotten tired of it real fast.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Brad,
moving on.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Transformers: The Last Night.
Oh, I forgot it. Nope. I didn't forget about that.
On our prediction show, I said no. Brad was a maybe.
I'm making a change right now, folks.
I was going to say, that's when you said that I forgot. No, I didn't. That didn't sound like, oh, no, I didn't see it on the list. That sounded like, I forgot. Oh, wait, no, I still have some spots I haven't said yet.
No, I forgot I saw it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, I only put movies that I saw. And I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot I watched that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Vic was.
I gotta add it to the list. Sorry.
Vic was a yes on this one in our prediction show.
Yep, I sure was.
What were you?
I was a no, and you were a maybe. I still haven't seen it.
Man, it's so bad.
It is.
It's
horrible.
just so long, and you can tell 90% of it's just to try to take advantage of the 3D thing. Like, they do things unnecessarily just to try to give you a 3D effect.
I think we got a Transformer.
Is that your Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
What was that again?
I think we got a Transformer.
Why do all your impressions involve your voice getting higher?
Yeah, I was about to say, why he's not having that high.
And why was he British, kind of?
Right.
Cheerio, Pip, it's an Optimus Prime.
We're doing this again.
Oh yeah, Vic, you were here. We had a special guest on WrestleMania, Jason. He's possibly taking a trip to England, so that brought out my my English accent. Hey, cheerio, Pip, tea and crumpets.
Yeah, that went on for 5 minutes.
Cheerio.
It couldn't be the British guy that does the announcement for the show. It had to be like that guy.
Nah, that guy's all moved on to bigger and better things, chum. He's playing cricket, don't you know? Cheerio, fish and chips.
Have you paid your taxes?
Vic, what's your number 4?
The Queen. Don't leave the Queen.
Yeah, number 4, Dark Tower.
I haven't seen
it. If I would have seen it.
Idris Elba is my man. Like, I like him in everything he does. The character was not bad. The movie was just bad. Like, he's a badass in the movie, but the movie just definitely was not badass.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I know I'm going to be disappointed. I'm sure it would end up on my list.
Well, shit, it's a black man in it. I'm saying it's not good, so of course it's going to be a disappointment.
No, well, I've read all the books, so I'm sure I'm going to be disappointed just by hearing all the bad things that have been said about it. So, speaking of our predictions,
no, it did actually. Well, no. What was our benchmark for a successful movie? What's the amount? It has to be doubled?
Tripled.
Okay, it didn't make it.
Our predictions, Vic and I were both yeses, and Brad was a no on Dark Tower.
Yeah, makes sense.
Number 4
Pretty
for
smart.
me, A Dog's Purpose.
Oh, is that the movie where it was supposed to be about making people aware of animals, but then you found out later it's like, oh no, they're just fucking abusing them on the set.
Yeah, it was that movie. Yeah, and it's not because of that. There's his 1980s keyboard.
He's getting into the Linux system. Playing Lemmings.
He's like a villain on Superman 4.
Fuck you both.
No, I just didn't think the movie was very good. I thought it was pretty stupid. And I think, from what I can remember, I think I may have tweeted out something like A Dog's Purpose. What was the purpose of this movie, or something like that?
Oh wow! Shots fired.
Yeah, I know it.
Savage.
I can see myself.
A Dog's Purpose should have been called "What's the Purpose of This Dog Movie?" I even made your joke better.
Especially after like last week, he was trying to do fucking Seinfeld.
Brad
fucking missed that one altogether, Corey. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, stick to it. Stick to your wheelhouse. Okay, my number 3.
One trick pony.
This one was tough between 2 and 3. My number 1 has been a lock for a while.
Okay.
My 2 and 3. The reason this one's 3 and not 2 is because I had lower expectations for this one than I did for number 2. Mm-hmm. So number 2 let me down more. My number 3 though, Independence Day.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God. How like
I haven't seen I take that back. The other night it was on TV and we watched like 5 minutes of one little segment and
I was okay with Will Smith not being in it. I was okay with how they handled all that. It's just everything else in the movie's so bad.
Really?
It's boring. It's predictable. And yeah, I hated it.
It's John Wick 2.
Yeah. Vic, your number 3?
Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
Because I like me a little ScarJo, and I figured maybe since she runs around half naked in the anime that's what we get, and all we got is Scarlett Johansson in a bodysuit with a really fucked up haircut, and yeah, I usually dig these kind of movies, and it was just boring as hell, and literally I pulled a Brad and fell asleep.
Yeah, I remember watching the previews. I saw a preview a bunch for, and I just remember being like, oh my God, I can already tell this is going to be a big piece of shit.
I gave it a chance. We had rented it. And my daughter and wife tapped after about 10 minutes. So I went back and finished it. And it didn't get any better.
You still rent movies?
Yeah. Family
As
video.
in go out and pick up a movie?
Mm-hmm. I do. And this
Why
movie,
do you do this? Because you could do it like right from the comfort of your own living room.
No, I can't. Not new ones.
Yes.
This one was number 14 on my list. So This almost made the top 10. But my number 3 is Sharknado 5.
Hold on, does that count as a fucking? Wait a second.
What we're saying we can't. Why can't that be included?
I don't know if I really consider this to be a good submission for this list.
Well, why not?
Why not?
All right. That widens.
It's a movie that came out in 2016, 2017.
That widens my berth on what I can put in as submissions from now on. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like the lowest I was going was like Netflix movie. You know.
Hey, this is out on video.
What do you mean? What the hell's that got to do with anything?
Because
I thought we were doing movies. I thought we were doing movies. Did we mention this as a movie for 2018?
For 2017, you mean? No.
Well, yeah, whatever.
No, it was not. It was not.
All right, moving on.
All right, Brad, you're number 2.
My number 2, and the reason that this beat out the Transformers movie to be worse on the list is because I had higher expectations for it, and it completely fucking flopped on all of it. Alien Covenant. I was so excited because I was like, okay, well, Prometheus was garbage, but they figured out like how to fix it. You know, they're like more aliens. Yeah, they need people want to see the alien they know. And so this one we're going to do a trailer with the alien just hanging on the ship like a badass and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And fucking, we didn't get the alien until like 3/4 of the way through. He's in like a 10-minute sequence and then it's over. And the rest of the time before that, it's just a worse Prometheus. Prometheus on a planet instead of a ship.
Talk about fucking predictable. You're like, okay, so you have Michael, who's the android, and then there's another android looks just like him. Oh, like we don't know what's getting ready to happen there.
And the fact that
but we took off his hand, so you'll know which one it is. Like, yeah. Except they don't fucking feel pain, so he's gonna cut off his own hand and then pretend to be the other guy. We knew this is coming. Yeah, ain't slick.
And then they had like the thing where they had like those all white aliens.
Yeah,
that were like
the proto aliens.
Yeah, and then just the whole ending sequence, the whole what you build up to. I mean, they got out of there pretty easily.
Yeah,
like you didn't feel like they were in much danger.
I still haven't seen
even when the alien's hanging off the side of the ship, you're just like, oh, here it comes, and then he's just gone. Like, and they escape. So, yeah, very, very predictable, boring, slow for no reason, no payoff at the end. I don't know if I trust the Alien franchise going forward to go see another one.
Our predictions, all three of us were yeses on it.
Yeah, because they tricked us.
Yeah.
All right.
We were bamboozled.
Yeah.
Hoodwinked.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you both said it at the same time. All right, Vic, you're number 2.
He tried to walk on my joke. I was gonna keep going with it because it's a black guy that says that whole thing, and yeah, it's Corey for you. Okay, so my number 9, because I forgot that I'd watched this piece of shit, was Transformers.
You mean your number 2?
Sorry, my number 2. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely Transformers. It was so bad. It actually should have been my number 10, but
you mean
my number 1? Yeah, my number 1. But it's I cannot say how bad number 1 was that Transformers actually came in second.
Wow, Corey.
Annabelle Creation is my number 2. Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty stupid. And half the story didn't make any sense. It didn't. Not that it didn't make any sense. It was just like they lose their daughter.
It was a weird fucking Chucky thing all over again.
Well, they lose their daughter, and then they decide, oh, we'll go ahead. A few years later, we'll go ahead and we'll turn our house into an orphanage, even though you're bedridden and there's some shit going on with you. That'll be a good idea. Let's bring kids into the house.
Yeah, it is pretty fucked up. Like, yeah, my wife can't move, and we're apparently have a haunted house.
Yeah.
What's that? You got 8 girls you want to bring over? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I need to have some fun too.
Yeah, it was
It's
just
weird.
It was just fucking stupid. I hated it. Brad, you're number 1.
My number 1. My worst movie of the year.
Mm-hmm. It
Comes at Night.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It is basically like, okay, you know how in a zombie movie, there's always that part of the movie where they get to the house with like the family that's been there for a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and has been laying low and avoiding all the zombie type shit.
Right.
This movie is like if you had to watch what that had been going on in that house for the couple of weeks where there were no zombie attacks and the family was just hiding out. That's all it was. It's just a family hiding out from something.
Sounds boring.
Every night, whatever it is, comes after them?
No, like it's worse at night.
Is that the one where? Oh no, that
it's this family that lives in a house. These 2 people
and their
baby
always being quiet.
Yeah, well, there's 2 people and their baby show up, and at first, like they think they think that they might be whatever, have the disease, but they let them come into their house, and then eventually it's supposed to play on the psychological effects that would have on you, but instead it just ends up being really fucking stupid and boring.
All right.
And it's like a white guy and a black chick, and I don't know if it's their son, if he's mixed.
Yeah, it's their son.
Yeah, it was just bad. It's again, it's what happens in the house. For the reason they don't show that part of the zombie movies is because it's fucking boring. And this movie was like, no, we just want all of it. Give us all that footage.
Vic, what is your number 1?
I just read the synopsis for that movie. It sounds horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you had to sit through that.
Yeah. It should have came never.
Yeah. Alien Covenant was my worst movie of the year. And you know how much of an Alien fan I am.
Yeah.
You know how much of a pass I gave Prometheus. And they literally made me feel like an ass for giving Prometheus a pass with this movie. Like, it was just, I'm so ultimately disappointed in a franchise that has brought me great joy over the years. Like, I can't tell you how badly disappointed I am with what they did with this movie. And as Brad said, I'm not looking forward to the next installation at all. So,
Corey?
My number 1, y'all are going to laugh at the fact that I even watched this in the first place, but I don't care, whatever. 50 Shades Darker.
Oh.
This movie was fucking horrible.
Well, good. There's another one coming. 50 Shades Freed. The fuck?
It's so stupid. The dude ends up getting in a helicopter crash, and the next scene, they're all gathered around a TV, and they find out that he's been in a helicopter crash, and then he walks in with nothing but a bandage on, I mean, he's got clothes on, but he's got like an arm bandaged up, and that's it. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? The whole movie. Thank you. That was awfully loud. But yeah, and just the way she acts, it's just like, oh, it's unnerving. It's worse than a Lifetime movie. It's just that bad.
Corey, how many Lifetime movies do you watch?
I've seen a few.
Okay, moving on.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of our worst list.
All right, ready to move on to the best?
You want to do commercials, or you just want to go right into best?
I think we just go right into it.
All right,
let's hear quick social media shout out.
All right, go ahead.
BradScottComedy.com, links to social media, or just search Brad Scott Comedy. Vic?
Miller King 51 on social media, or Black and Angry on all gaming platforms.
And I am at NKO Gonzo on Letterboxd and Twitter.
Check out our sibling shows. We have WrestleMania with Corey and I. We take a look back at the week in pro wrestling and look at the lighter comedy part of it. And also we have special guest today, Jason Nicholson, who is a pro wrestling expert who was on with us. So WrestleMania. And Corey?
Also, Vic and I have another show that is called the Miller Times Podcast, where we take a look back at some of the shows that we're watching during the week and kind of give a recap and thoughts on where things could be going. And doing S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham right now.
All right, Vic, anything else you want to plug?
You can also find me on Electric Streams Media. We do Cable Ready, TV show, a podcast based on the HBO and cable TV shows.
All right, let's get to our best list. And this time, Corey, why don't you start, and then we'll go to Vic and then me.
All right. Let's see. My number 10 is Get Out.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. I can't say that I saw the ending coming. That was kind of a surprise. But yeah, I thought it was really good. And Brad, what's your number 10?
Kind of almost seems like I bet that seems like the perfect movie for you.
Oh God.
For most of it.
There we go.
Except for I bet he was like, "What? Why are these people being so accepting of that colored fella?" No, that was a really good movie, and it's a shame that it's going to get that stigma that it was considered better because of, a black director and everything else. But I think it's more impressive. It's a comedian who directed a horror movie and did it really well.
Yeah.
Like, when it was all said and done, the overarching, it was the first time, you had a black writer, that did this and that. I was like, okay, so I understand why you're surprised, but the fact that this dude is a fucking hilarious, comedian, comic writer.
I wasn't surprised.
And then have him turn around and do something this kind of crazy. That's what I thought was the more impressive part than the fact that it was a black guy that made a horror movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he was on Adam Green's podcast, and they were talking about horror films, and he's always been into a horror fan, so I'm not surprised that he was able to do.
And he's got more coming out.
They're doing. He's going to be producing Tales from the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. So
wow, Tales from the Dark Twilight Zone covered all of them. Tales from the Dark Side, covered all of them. So I was on the fence until fucking Corey brought up fucking Sharknado. There was a movie on Netflix called Okja. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, you teased it last week.
Yes.
Yeah, basically this makes my number 10 because it deserves to be on here because it was so well done. And I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to watch this and thinking I'm going to be disinterested in 10 minutes. And I was starting to play a game and doing other shit. And then I just found myself enthralled in the story. And I thought it was really good. So I had to put it on my list.
What's it about?
So basically, in the future, the government has created these super pigs. And they're basically the size of double the size of a hippopotamus, but it's pork. And they give these genetically altered pigs to 13 different people around the world to raise so they can see who can raise one the best. And then basically while this was all going on and people are paying attention to these 13 super pigs, this company, this conglomerate is breeding these things out the fucking wazoo. And they're just planning on slaughtering all of them to make super pork and super bacon. And it's just interesting. And then there's a Greenpeace group that basically tries to save the Okja, which is the one that they picked as the best one. There's a scene where they have this huge, like, gross-looking one that's, like, going to rape Okja to make more little Okjas. It's crazy. It goes all over the place. Like, it goes from, like, super happy and fun to, like, magical to, like, dark and sinister to, like, rapey to, like sweet to, like, it's just crazy. Yeah. It's like it covers everything.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It's on my best of list. It didn't make my top 10, but yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. But it just
I was surprised for what it was put out as and being a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it just screamed message throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, it did do that. But still,
I am so sorry, but if you're talking about super big and that pig's gonna get raped,
right? Yeah, I mean that's just what it is.
My number 10, Thor. Ragnarok.
Fraggle Rock.
In spite of the fact that there was not a single Muppet in the whole movie.
This one did not make my list. It almost did. 10, 12, 13th for me.
Okay. All right, Corey, you're number 2 or number 9.
My number 9. Hold on, I was looking over Thor from last year. Our predictions. You were Brad. You said on demand, and Vic and I were both yeses on that one. Okay, so my next pick is Logan.
9?
Yep, 9.
I'm interested to hear the 8 movies you have ahead of that.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, this one was farther down on my list. There's some newer movies that came out recently that have kind of pushed it back. So it was lower on the list until probably the last couple months.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And it's probably, to me, the second best comic book movie ever behind The Dark Knight.
Have you watched the black and white version?
No.
Okay.
I would not be interested in that.
Okay, because it's black and white.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. Vic, what's yours? What's your number 9?
Hold on. My number 9 is Thor Ragnarok.
Welcome to Ragnarok.
Welcome to Ragnarok. It almost didn't make the list because it almost made the bad list.
Oh, really?
Because I was very disappointed in
what were you disappointed in?
It was too fucking jokey. Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy, we expect it to be it's the way they built that franchise was around the, like, smart alecky, jokey type stuff. So you're like, okay, I get it. But then they try to do that same thing with this. Then they made Hulk out to be this, like, brooding fucking pissy teenager type character. Like, it's just weird. And I was very disappointed in what they did with it. And on top of that, they collided 2 storylines to make one and added a space anus, and I was done. So
I know what you're talking about.
You were going to say something?
No.
Oh, you got to give it up. They had probably the best soundtrack of any Marvel movie ever. I mean,
It's taking a little while to come in here.
I was looking for the Doozers. I didn't see them anywhere either, too. I was kind of upset.
That was a really long intro.
Thor's a really long movie. Ragnarok!
And yes, I clapped. Okay. While he's got Fraggle Rock playing, thoughts on Thor and the predictions? Vic.
It's weird that Thor and Hulk were underneath Stan Lee and his dog the whole time.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Logan predictions. All 3 of us were yeses.
Okay.
Who are we at next?
That's me, right?
We're back
number 9?
Yep, number 9.
Oh, no, Vic. Sorry, Vic's number 9.
I did that.
Oh, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
so mine. All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. What was that one?
That was a Tupac movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little cheesy. Had a little Lifetime movie quality about it.
A little bit, yeah.
They kind of painted him as being a little bit probably more innocent than he was. But it was still the guy that played Tupac was amazingly resemblance of Tupac, and everybody else did a great job. And it was cool that it was obvious that now it's a 90s gangster rap cinematic universe, as we saw Biggie make an appearance. I can't wait for Crossroads, the Bone Thugs part of the story.
They use the same guy that did the Biggie Smalls movie, right? Okay.
Bone Thugs and Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what it's gonna be.
This one was on my best of list, just behind Okja, so just at the end of my list. So let's see who's that come to. Is that me now? Let's see.
You're number 8.
Here we go.
You're number 8.
See, my number 8.
All you gotta do is write these damn things down, Corey.
Yeah.
I don't feel alone in this world anymore.
What's your number 8? We don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Now, this was a Netflix movie. It's got Elijah Wood and the girl that was in love with Charlie Sheen's character on 2.5 Men.
The whiny chick?
Yeah, the one that
Megan Fox?
No, the one that lived next door that had a crush on.
Yeah, Ruth.
Yeah.
The stalker.
No,
Ruth,
was it Ruth?
Yeah.
The stalker, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It was
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, it's a Netflix film. And I just really enjoyed it. It was it starts off where she starts having this bad day and everything is just pissing her off and she just doesn't give a fuck anymore and she just doesn't.
So it's like female falling down.
Yeah, kind of.
She starts shooting people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was a complete joke.
I feel like he's lying.
No. All right, Vic, you're number really
8. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
It's very low on my list. I am normally very forgiving of basically anything that Marvel does when it comes to their movies, but this one fell down for me as well. There are 18 minutes of this movie, 18.9 minutes of this movie that I truly and utterly enjoyed, and that was basically anything that Baby Groot was in. The rest of it, pretty much the same shit we've had the whole time. And I absolutely dislike the whole fucking thing about ego. Like, I can't look past it. I know people are like, well, just because you know so much about the dim, I get it. I understand. It's Starman all the fucking over again, but it's just, it did not hit for me at all.
Come on. Oh, all right. But this is on your best of list, though, so.
It's yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of shitting all over your best of movies.
It's at the bottom. It's still at the bottom of my list, so.
All right. Brad.
My number 8 was Spider-Man. Homecoming.
Spider-Man?
Huh?
What has it? Spider-Man?
What?
Never mind.
Why are you just repeating Spider-Man?
What the hell?
Never mind.
No. What was that?
I just had a stroke. Never mind.
No. What was that?
Toast?
What was that?
No, there was like an accent that people do, and they say Spider-Man differently.
Oh.
Corey, do you smell burnt toast? You may have just had a stroke.
There was I think it was on a documentary, maybe on a stand-up documentary, but there's these two comics. I don't remember who they are now, but they're sitting there talking around about they're like, what if it was like a Jewish superhero like Gabe Spiderman?
Yeah.
Anyways, I did not like this movie nearly as much as I thought I was going to, and I think I figured out I don't think I really like Spider-Man as a character that much. I don't know why, but I've not ever really there's not one Spider-Man movie I've really liked. And so this one I found myself a little disinterested in towards the end. So,
well, your prediction was a meh.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that was the result. Where it
sits on his list.
Yeah, meh.
Vic and I both said yeah on that one. Let's see. My next movie is The Big Sick.
Okay.
Which Brad ridiculed me for my tweet out to you.
God, you're such a star fucker.
That wasn't. I was giving him props,
and you had and you couldn't have just given him props with his name. You had to tag.
Well, yeah. How else is he going to see it? You think he's just randomly searching my name? I wonder who's tweeting about me now.
Okay, well, no, but can't you just give him props? Like to give him props?
No. Well, he's not going to hear it.
I'm sure there's millions of people that are giving him props. You feel like he has to hear the one from Corey Miller.
Well, he liked it, so he must have needed to.
No, his assistant who controls the Twitter account.
Hold on. Now, let's be fair, Brad. Let's be fair. When you tweet about someone that you want to give props to, you never use their Twitter handle in the message? Never.
Well, for one, I don't do a whole lot of tweeting.
Okay, no. That's not answering the question.
Twitter's not really my. I'm trying to think.
The question.
But I'm trying to think. I am trying to think of a situation where I have tweeted props to someone that I don't know and use their handle, and I don't know. I don't really know if I have
a wrestler. Never.
I don't think so.
I think if you go back in your feed, you will find it.
Maybe, but anyway. So yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So what did you like about?
I just like to.
That's your one defense for the year. That's your only defense for the year, Corey. I'm just saying.
I get it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it renews January 1st.
Right.
I liked the story. I thought the acting was really well, and it's just good to see. The story was, while it was the same, it was a little different. I mean, different backgrounds of the characters. So it was neat to see. So
okay,
I enjoyed it.
Vic, you're number 7.
It was my number 7.
Ha!
Ha! Why ha?
Just gonna hear the 6 movies you put ahead of
it. He's scoffing at it.
You thought that was the ultimate number 1 movie of the year?
Go ahead. So, just go ahead.
Moving on.
Go ahead, Vic. I can give your explanation.
No, I thought it was a good movie. Again, it was It over again. So the story wasn't. Not that I wasn't unprepared for the story. I like some of the licenses they took with it. I thought they did a good job with it.
What do you mean it was It over again?
It was the same. It was it. It was the movie.
Okay, you're one of those people that says it was the same as the miniseries.
No, I'm not saying it's the same as the miniseries, but it is a movie that I have seen. It's just done differently, and I think much better, obviously. But it was it, and it's the same as the story that I know about it. It just I wasn't really surprised at a lot of the movie, I guess. Like there's certain parts of it that I thought were like the like zombie, not zombie, I keep saying zombie for this. The leper?
Mm-hmm.
Like that thing was amazing. Like I thought that was just the way that they did that, and it was, that part was awesome. Like that was actually like the most impressive part of the movie for me. And then like there were just miscellaneous pieces. It just wasn't the best one of the year for me. So
okay. Oh, my turn, right?
Yep.
All right, my number 7 is Guardians 2.
Okay.
Yep, I liked it. But I can't agree with Vic. Like, there were certain, I don't know, I felt longer than it needed to be, maybe a tad. But yeah. I still enjoyed it, so.
Okay.
All right, Corey, you're number 6.
That is Split. That's the...
well, you can only pick one movie, so decide now.
Okay, I'll go with...
Which one's it going to be?
I'll go with this one. Split.
I don't know how you could have advanced that joke, but I do know that you ruined it. I don't know what you could have done differently, but I know it was anything other than that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty good.
I need to see that. It's on for free right now too. It's just a long movie.
Yeah, it's
good.
It's good. It's pretty interesting, which is surprising because lately M. Night Shyamalan, his movies have been shit.
Could you possibly give us a reason why?
I can't.
You just literally gave the most vague.
I can't.
It's good. It's interesting.
I don't want. Why? Because there's twists in it. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give.
We're spoiler.
What?
We're a spoiler podcast. Look, the movie had puts it in the same universe as Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. What you find out at the end.
So now you're okay with doing it.
Hey, you're gonna.
Now
do it
that
anyway.
I'm doing it for you, you're gonna jump in. I see how this.
You're gonna do it anyway.
White man taking the black man's thunder once again.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They put it in that universe, which I thought was kind of cool, which means that he can actually expand on some of the other stuff he does moving forward, which I'm hoping that they do to draw those characters back in. I'm also like, and then the idea of there being like, there were things in there like, I don't know anyone who has multiple personalities, okay? But the idea that a person with multiple personalities,
really, Vic,
that it manifests.
Sure, you don't know anyone. No one you know.
Yeah,
buddy, you sure you don't know anybody? Baby got another personality or two, you know what I'm saying? Cheerio, pip, pip, Victor.
Damn it. Which one of you plays that fucking donkey music so I can be sure to kill that one?
That'll be me, Vic. I'm just here doing my job. Just chopping wood and staying in my lane. My lane includes the donkey. The donkey's name is Dominic. A little Italian donkey.
But I never thought it was pretty interesting that they made a character that
Vic Santa needs Dominic because the reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. Italy is a country. I was not sure about that fact, but I checked and it is.
Different physical being every time they change it to somebody else. So, where the one has diabetes and the other ones don't, and he has to have insulin when he turns into that particular one. It's just an interesting story.
All right.
Would have actually liked to have seen the Beast more of a beast than just like a buffed up person.
Yeah.
Too, I guess.
Brad?
So anyway, go ahead.
I'm gonna be taking over here for King Bong Clown. So you need the number 6 movie?
Yes.
I'm just kidding, guys. I know the people are getting mad. My number 6 is Justice League.
Yeah.
I liked Justice League. Here's the thing, though. I hated it the first 30 minutes because it reminded me too much of Batman versus Superman. And I was like, oh, this is going to be another illogical piece of shit that I don't care about or anything else. But I thought by the end, for some reason, right after that 30-minute mark or so, I started to like it. And I started to get into it. And I ended up liking the movie by the end. I liked Aquaman. I liked Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I liked The Flash. Those are my 2 favorite parts of the movie. And it gave me some hope that they may be able to do another movie and do it correctly.
This movie wasn't perfect.
We'll see.
But I didn't dislike it. It is on my best of list at number 15. So there are things that they did that did well in there and that I liked. But there was it still had some flaws in it. So
yeah. Vic? Or Corey, sorry.
It's up to me? Okay. So my next one is
5,
Guardians.
Right?
Yeah, Guardians is my next pick.
Okay.
I loved it. I know there's probably some things that are bad about it that you guys have kind of pointed out already. I could go with that. I can understand that. But the Yondu thing at the end killed me. I liked the dancing Groot, the baby Groot during the opening credits. I liked the feel of it. I like the movie.
Yeah, it was kind of messed up when they killed John Doe.
Yeah.
John Doe.
I don't even know my name. I'm a Yondu. You little bitch.
Vic?
For those of you who don't get that, the actor that plays Yondu's name is
Michael Rooker.
And what did I call him?
Michael Booker.
And what did he call me?
A bitch.
A little bitch. All right. Vic, you're number 5.
Baby Driver.
With voice of Alec Baldwin and the animated hit for the whole family.
I went into this thinking this is going to be a not very good movie and ended up enjoying the entire movie and almost everything about it. So it made my list.
I have it sitting at around 20.
All right, my number 5 is Happy Death Day.
I forgot about that movie.
I really liked that movie. It was the movie about the girl that is basically Groundhog's Day, but instead of, just going to bed at night, she dies every day. Mm-hmm. So I liked it. Good little twist at the end that I thought was actually pretty smart. Like people say they saw that coming from a mile away. Most people would be lying. I thought that was just a really well done, good movie. It was entertaining. It was funny. My daughter loved it too.
All right, that brings it to me. My number 4 is Jim and Andy, the documentary we talked about. I talked
He's
about
been creaming his jeans all week over it.
Yep, it's really good. If you heard the episode previously, I talked about how it's a documentary.
Yeah, we heard all about it.
The documentary about Jim Carrey when he was playing Andy Kaufman for the film Man on the Moon, and then they talk to Jim now and what was going on during all that time. Very great documentary. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Vic, your number 4.
No. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, we just gave 5.
I started number 4.
Okay. You started number 4. Uh-huh. Gotcha. Logan. Logan was my number 4. Good story. Interesting point to begin the story in, which I thought was not too bad. Hung on pretty good. As far as the storyline goes for Logan, I loved X-23 and just how badass she was. Like cutting dudes' heads off and bowling it at their friends. I thought was pretty good. I just thought it was a good movie. And I had a friend in it. So
you had a friend in it?
Yeah.
You have to explain this.
I've explained this several times. The kid who played the black kid in there, he is a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. We did plays together. He's a good little actor.
Brad, did you know this?
Yeah.
He's also in the Goldbergs. Oh. He's got a pretty interesting story. Like he graduated from high school. His dad's a preacher, and they basically saved up enough money for him to move to California for a year. They set him up with an apartment, and they set him up with a manager, and they said, "You have 1 year to make it or come home." And he fucking went there and made it. So it was pretty impressive.
Right. Good for him.
Yeah.
Brad, you're number 4.
My number 4, Get Out.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, it's not bad.
Thank you.
Corey?
Wow.
Corey, you're number 3?
My number 3 is one that in the predictions from last year, I said I'll watch this on video. This is my number 3 pick. It's John Wick 2. This movie is badass regardless of what Vic says.
What were the other answers for that?
Let's see. Vic was a yes, and you didn't answer.
Okay. So why is your
just the action in this thing. It starts out at the very beginning before the credits even roll. This badass 10-minute action scene. It's awesome, and then the action just continues throughout the whole movie. I don't know how many times I've watched this. It's on like HBO now, so I've seen it a few times there. Got the
I have too, and I still don't feel any different about it.
I got the Blu-ray on Black Friday, so for like $3 or something.
He's sucking John's wick.
Whatever. Vic, what's your number 3?
That is not the right plug.
They killed my dog. Now they're gonna suck my wick. Vic, you're number 3.
I don't know how I'm out of fucking order here. Like, I haven't given my number 4.
Yes, you did. I didn't touch it.
You're touching near it. Your number 4? What was his number 4?
I'm confused. So we had Okja, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy, It, Baby Driver, Logan.
Yes. And now the next
So
one.
I have 4 left.
Oh, then you got skipped at some point.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready for 3. I'm ready to give my 3rd. Happy Death Day.
All right, so my 4th
Get Out was
one,
my 4th.
He skipped my 4 is what it was.
Okay, what's your 4?
My 4 is Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Okay.
Okay.
I did not see that. I wish I would have. But I'd have to watch the first one first.
Dude, there are some scenes in there as far as you talk about action, and I know it's campy, like comic book turn real life more so than like the Marvel Universe comic book type things are, but it's so well done and it's fucking funny the way they do it. It's got what's his name?
Elton John is a running joke through the entire film.
Dude, it's hilarious. Like when he starts doing kung fu, it's hilarious. Channing Tatum's in it also, and he just like gets fucked up and turns into a drug addict. They just make him out to be a drug addict, and he's off the show, which I thought was kind of funny too. They made this big deal of him, and then they just fucking put him in stasis.
Yeah, I didn't really like it too much. Especially, I liked the first one. This one, I just didn't like it as much.
Dude, Whiskey was badass.
Who was that? That dude was in Game of Thrones, but I don't know who he was in that.
I'll have to look it up. I can't remember who he was.
Yeah, I was trying to picture him without a mustache.
With him, like when he was fighting those dudes with a 6-shooter, and he was spinning it like they do when they put it in their holster, and he's just fucking tagging dudes. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Moving on.
All right, what was your number 3?
All right, my number 3 was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay. And why did you like it so much?
Good job. I thought they did a good job with the overall story, and without making that like as mechanical as they have to make the supervillains in some of these. This one was more believable than Rhino, which I was very happy for, because what they did with Rhino pissed me off in the last movie.
Yeah, well, but, like, that one doesn't count anymore.
Vulture was a really well structured villain in the way they did it.
They can redo Rhino.
Yeah, the story was pretty good. I like the kid that plays him. Like, the way he plays him is more realistic to Superman, to Spider-Man, to me, and I like the way he plays that character. So, that's it. It's my number 3.
All right.
So my number 3 is a movie that hasn't even come out yet, but I am this confident it will move up to number 3. Ready Player One.
That doesn't come out till next year, does it?
Yeah, dude, it's next year.
Well, it's my number 3. I thought it came out at the end of this year. So
did you not look at the list I gave you?
No,
it's on the list.
Ready Player One is still my 3rd. I don't care.
What do you like about it, Brad?
I struggled to find 10 movies, Vic. So I thought this would be a little funny thing, and you guys had to just ruin it immediately. So what's your number 2, Corey?
What do you like about it?
The nostalgia. Corey?
Okay.
That's a very safe answer.
My number 2 and my number 1, I was so debating how I was going to play these two out. I wasn't sure what was going to take my number 1 spot. I really thought about it, and I thought about it. And my number 1 got knocked out. And so
so number 2 is it, and number 1 is Star Wars. You made that so obvious. So obvious. No. Vic, am I wrong?
You can see my phone.
Is Vic here? Oh, there he is. I cannot. First of all, no, I cannot. I can't. I can see boxes and pictures, but I can't see an order of anything or what's. And not to mention, I'm guessing the top left to be where your number 1 is. Yeah. Your screen is blocking that entire part. You just teased it too damn much to where you gave it away.
I was like, you're burying the lead, dude. Get on with it.
Yeah, so it is your number 2.
It is my number 2, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was very scary, and I loved it. I really did.
Okay, Vic?
My number 2, believe it or not, was Star Wars.
Oh.
The upset.
That's right.
The irony.
Wow.
So, what did you like about it?
I liked everything about it. I just feel like it was too. Again, this has been a thing for me this year. Stop fucking making everything jokey. Like, everything doesn't need to be funny. There doesn't have to be, like, you have this whole. So I'll give you one example. You have all these serious things going on, and then you have Finn get up. He's walking around in a giant fucking Bacta suit that's spewing Bacta fluid all over the place.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, in a different situation, that may have been funny, but it's just not right now, because this is supposed to be this serious thing going on.
Funny.
And this is what you throw in the middle of it.
I think Vic has turned into a supervillain. He's trying to rid the world of comedy.
No, I'm just trying to tell people they don't need to put it in everything just for the fucking.
Did you see the trailer for that movie? It's just like, in the future here, laughing is considered the worst crime. And there's just this big video screen of like Vic out like a Times Square type thing. Just, all those who laugh shall be put to death.
He changes his voice.
Like, even the people that try to make people laugh are failing, and then it's just Corey.
I'm just standing there waving. Hey.
All right. Ready for my number 2?
Yeah, you're number 2.
Yep.
Logan. Not only is it the number 2 movie of me for 2017, it's the number 2 comic book movie in history. It was great. There wasn't a thing wrong with it. And it's the most violent comic book movie in history.
Over Deadpool?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Deadpool was more.
Deadpool might have had more deaths, violent. But Logan, you didn't see anything in Deadpool like Logan putting his claws into a person's head.
Yeah.
Deadpool was comically violent, which is what his character does, but this was just like
violent,
sick fucking kill you violence and walk away like fuck you.
That opening scene where he takes on the guys trying to rob his car just completely sets up for this is not like any other comic book movie you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not fighting like supervillains. He's just like, oh, these gangster stuff are trying to steal my car, and he eviscerates them.
Well, and it's like, well, damn, they had to wait till he was dying to give us the actual Wolverine badass.
Yeah,
right.
Thing. So
I need to rewatch that.
Well, they had to find out that that Deadpool could get away with it before they could do it.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right, Corey.
Well, you've already said it. My number 1 is Star Wars.
And what was so great about it that it pushed it into your number 2 spot?
I think, I don't know. I think it was just because of that high. Sometimes you get that you get done with a movie and you just like it so much you're on that high. And I think at the time, and I could probably talk back and forth which one is going to be my number 1. But at the time, I felt there was enough there in the writing and the cinematography to put it in the number 1 spot. I really liked it a whole lot.
All right, and Vic, your number 1.
Wonder Woman.
Over Star Wars.
Over Star Wars, believe it or not. I'm going to give DC something that I have not given them hardly ever, and that's props on this movie. They did a great job with the choice of character. They did a great job telling a story. They did a excellent job, like keeping me entertained throughout the entire movie without going, really? Like, not once did that happen. And like I said, like this character is going to be the saving grace for DC's fucking DC's movie universe all the way through.
Yeah, it's on my best of list. Didn't make the top 10 though.
And don't try to scroll through and find it.
I know, I can see it right there. I don't have to scroll through to see it. I can see it. But go ahead.
All right, my number 1.
Yep.
I mean, I think this is no surprise. My number 1 is Dunkirk. The story of the British war soldiers
thought he could
under attack, and no, of course not. It's the best movie I've seen in years. A perfect update of a classic movie that through no fault of its own, with restrictions and whatnot, was not able to get it right. This movie came out and did get it right on a small budget, mind you. And ended up being not only the biggest horror movie release of all time, but the biggest September release in history. Broke all types of records, made, I think, $500 million. No more than that, probably. Going to set up for a sequel that I'm super excited to see in a couple of years.
Yep.
So I just looked up something. As we were talking about how bad Transformers was, do you know that movie made like $111 million on a $60 million budget?
That's not good.
It's not.
That might be the end of the Transformers.
Yeah.
No, it's just enough for them to make another one, and that's the bad part.
Yeah. They got to take it out of Michael Bay's hands.
I am not looking forward to that ever.
Yeah. Did we get that? That's everybody.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the full list for
the episode.
Yeah.
So, I think if there's any song perfect to take us out of 2017, thank you for listening to the Showdown Podcast.
I'm going to have to mute the end of this show, aren't I?
You don't hear it? You ain't got to mute this, Vic.
I would have preferred the Fraggle Rock song.
Oh, would you rather? Oh, I'm sorry, Vic. Would you rather have us go out with Dominic?
No, I'm just saying. I figured it was going to happen at some point, so I was preparing myself. And I've been let down, so I'm good. You don't have to do it at all.
You've been let down?
Yeah, I've been let off the fucking noose that I've had around my neck all fucking season long.
I feel pretty bad for letting you down.
No.
I'm not a good team player. And don't worry, Vic. As soon as this ad is over, I'll redeem myself. Hey, thanks for listening. For Corey Miller.
Yep.
I'm Brad Scott, and for Vic Miller.
Yes, that's me, motherfucking donkeys.
You have been listening to the Showdown Podcast. We'll be back with Menace to Society and a bunch of other shit next year. So,
Happy New Year's, folks.
Yes, thanks for listening. We sincerely appreciate it. Follow us, since none of us decided to give our show info earlier. You can find us on most social media as the Showdown Pod. And with that, we'll see you guys later. Because the reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. Hey, jingity jing. Hee-haw, hee-haw. How come my movie wasn't on the list, buddies?
I've been ready since 6 o'clock. So.
Oh.
Here we go. Are you ready? You want to bang around some more shit?
I'm banging. Well, you know.
I'm banging. Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt, Vic.
Thought you fell over.